I'm Erica Brinson, and this is my husband Richard and our son Tucker. And this is our foster daughter. We've been fostering her since she was 2 days old, and she is 15 months old now.
Being able to be a fatherly figure to children that don't have that type of figure in their life, it's definitely rewarding. It's hard, and knowing that most of them are going back to a pretty terrible situation, but to be able to try to influence a child in some way, it's pretty rewarding, in its own respect.
We first considered getting into foster care back in 2013 when we were looking into adoption. We weren't really sure what route to go, and we went to an orientation with Place of Hope. And they basically told us, there's no guarantees in foster care. You're not gonna be guaranteed to come out adopting. So at that point we realized private adoption was gonna be the route that we needed to take for what we were trying to do at that time. But at that time, God definitely planted a seed in our heart for foster care when we heard all the statistics and the stories of these kids in our counties and the surrounding areas that need us. We realized that at some point we would be definitely opening our home to kids in need. I would say some hesitations that we had going into it are definitely the number one thing that we hear over and over again, which was our biggest concern, is that we'd get too attached and that the kids would go home. And that is definitely a very real scenario that comes up, and inevitably it's going to happen. But we just feel that God called us to love the least of these, and if we have to put ourselves aside so that we can do that, then so be it. And we know that He's going to sustain us, and He's going to pull us through the heartache when that does happen. God just kept prompting us and kept tugging on our heart, and it just seemed like every turn we took and every person we met, somehow foster care came up, and it just kept coming up over and over again. And we kept trying to make excuses, like our house isn't big enough, and when our kids get a little bit older, or every excuse in the book we'd come up with. But we had people in our lives that would speak truth over us and tell us, like, no, your house doesn't have to be any bigger. No, you don't need a mansion, or you don't need a lot of money to do this. And so because of that, we realized that we were able to go forward, and I'm so thankful that those people didn't just tell us what we want to hear. They told us the hard truth of, that's an excuse. You can't ignore God. Like, He's telling you to do this. You need to do it. So we just decided to go, feet first, and we are, in it now, and there is no turning back. We are passionate, and we love it, and it's a crazy ride, but we would not change it for anything. So the biggest challenge definitely is the roller coaster of one day feeling like this child is going to be in your family forever, and that you're just so connected and there's no way that she would ever leave you, and then the next minute being told that the mom completed a step in her case plan, or the caseworker wants to move forward with, extending a case plan. Things like that are definitely hard, or, sometimes you disagree with a judge for putting a child back into a home that is not a good situation, or parents that are just a couple months sober, and you just feel worried that they're not going to be able to handle this child that is a little bit difficult. So that is definitely challenging, but like I said before, God is God. He's sovereign. He knows what He's doing, and we just have to really, really put our trust in Him, and it's grown our faith a lot to know that He is in control, and it's really made us walk that out and not try to control everything, because you have no control with these kids. You don't get really any say on anything that happens in their lives. So it definitely makes you surrender a lot, which of course grows your faith. So that has been challenging yet rewarding, and the growth that we've had because of it has been awesome. What keeps us going is just, I'd say, the day-to-day life of being with these kids and loving these kids. It's easy to think about all of the negative things like the broken system and getting attached and having to let them go, but in reality, we're just normal people loving these normal kids that, come from hard places. And I think just waking up every day and being able to make a difference in their lives and, helping them get through tough times definitely makes it worth it, and it just helps you, it just refuels you. And I'd say being in community with other foster parents and other believers is huge. When you're feeling discouraged or you're feeling like you are just at a loss with what's going on in your situation, just reaching out for that support can just turn everything around and just help you get through it and just refuel you and keep you going. And I think that has been a really huge thing for us, to just have people rallying around us and praying for us and praying for our kids and praying for our situations. And when the going gets tough, that's what you need. You really need those people. So that keeps us going for sure.